Today I have two videos to show you guys of liberals, not conservatives, who are telling the truth about Kamala Harris. Scott Jennings is currently the GOAT of CNN because once again he wrecked Kamala Harris and her supporters on CNN. Take a look.
So at the beginning when she's talking about Biden and their record, our screen said, this is called the Chiron, the headline at the bottom, it said, Harris stands by Biden administration economic record. She is making it clear that she will embrace and be a continuation of Biden's economic policy, his record, what they've done. She offered no remorse, no regrets, no introspection about anything they've done. She continued to blame inflation on this fantasy price gouging idea. She had no additional thoughts on the economic situation in the country or what they've done beyond just saying, Joe Biden and I have done a great job. Now, if I were the Trump people, I would be salivating over the idea that that's how they are going to run the race. I don't believe it's tenable. I also thought it was interesting that she didn't take any responsibility at the end for telling the American people that Joe Biden was fine and he was strong. I mean, we all know that's not true. That's why he's out of the race, and she's still standing by the idea that he was fine and he's strong and that he's fine today. Nobody believes that, and I just think at some point, then why isn't he running?
Because he's too old, point blank. Same reason why Donald Trump probably shouldn't be running, because he's too old and out of touch.
I think most Americans know the truth, and when you're running to be president and you're willing to look them in the face and tell them something they know that you know is not true, it does speak a little bit to your character.
Scott.
So this is a man that is just simply observing the world around him. He isn't saying he loves Trump. Again, as far as I'm aware, Scott Jennings is a liberal, maybe somewhere in the middle, but he's not like a MAGA Republican. He's just observing the world as it is. And what he's saying is what everybody knows, which is that Kamala Harris is parading as a totally different person than what she really is. It's all a charade for her because obviously she acted completely different in 2020. Actually, 2019, she didn't even make it to 2020 when she was running for president the first time. Her policies are what have gotten us into the economic mess that we're in today, because all the things that Joe Biden believes are things that she also believes, and she's been the first person, by the way, to say that that's true. So I'm not just putting words in her mouth. That's something that she has literally said. I'm one of those people, by the way, just kind of to Scott Jennings' points. I am one of those people who, unfortunately, you can call me a pessimist if you want, but I think that there's a huge percentage of America who are dumb. I think there are dumb Americans out there, dumb Americans who will support Kamala Harris, and they will listen to the lies of the mainstream media time and time again. But I do think that even the dumbest Americans, again, to Scott Jennings' point here, are turned off when Kamala Harris doubles down on the Bidenomics is working routine. And the reason why I say that is because on one hand, she's telling us she's proud of the work she's done with Biden and the economy, but then on the other hand, she's saying that she will save us from the economic uncertainties and the difficult times that we're having. And so how those things work, I don't understand, but even your dumbest person hears what she's saying and they think, well, I was just at the store and this thing that used to cost $2 now costs $3.50. I mean, that's a real thing that people are feeling. Again, they could be as dumb as rocks. They could be not political in the slightest. I don't think everyone should be very political, frankly. But this person could be totally bought into the mainstream Democrat Party, and yet they still will go to the store and they'll feel the hurt, and then they listen to Kamala Harris talk about these things, and it's frankly insulting to them. And so, again, that person's not particularly motivated by politics, but they're living that everyday life. And then if they tune into the CNN interview, and Kamala Harris is talking about how proud of the economy she is and how much work her and Biden have turned into, even the dumbest American is going to hear that, and they're going to say, that's not my lived experience. We talk a lot about, this is a side note that I got to talk about. We talk a lot about, facts don't care about your feelings. There's actual hardcore data. Honestly, the older I get, the more I realize that statistics are kind of crap, and your lived experience actually matters quite a bit. It really does. In terms of actual real life, but also just in terms of what drives people to vote or not vote. Whether it's actually true or not, it might still drive someone to vote. A lived experience matters a lot more than maybe the actual observable metrics of the economy, for instance. The economy, by observable metrics, is crap. So that doesn't really help Kamala Harris in this instance. But even if it said it was good, if people are feeling that it's not good, that perception is going to drive their reality. And frankly, maybe it is a little more based in reality than the metrics. Even if the metrics say something's good, if someone's feeling a certain way, there could be a really good basis for that feeling. So when that's one side of it. The other side, Scott brings up Biden's age. You can see him restraining himself a bit when talking to that other lady because she is literally lying. And she comes out and she says, I believe that. I believe that she actually, it wasn't a coup, essentially. And he calls her out for it in a nicer way than I would have done for being a liar. Kamala Harris's desire that Biden is simultaneous, basically, she has this intense desire to keep saying that Biden simultaneously is a great leader, but also can't run for president. It's one of the most unbelievable things about her. This is just another thing that even dumb Americans will look at and just call BS on. Trump has to capitalize this, by the way. This is it's just a crazy absurdity that she's talking about this. It cannot be both. It can't be that Biden's a great leader, but he shouldn't run for president. It can't be that. It can't, it's gotta be one or the other. It's gotta be he was great, and so he should still run, or he sucked, therefore he's not gonna keep running. And obviously it's that last one. Trump has to capitalize on that, especially in the debate, because that's maybe one of the only times that he's actually gonna be able to kind of head on attack her. Kamala Harris completely sold America out for an old man and the Democrat Party. She never did it for anyone but her own political gain. That's super clear at this point because of the fact that she is the Democrat nominee. If she really cared about our country, by the way, she would have invoked the 25th Amendment and kicked Biden out. So that was the first instance of liberals kind of turning on Kamala Harris. But there was a second. Nicole Shanahan, RFK Jr.'s old running mate, just released this ad about Trump derangement syndrome. One of the best ads I've seen in a long time. Take a look.
Are you or your loved ones suffering from illnesses such as TDS, also known as Trump derangement syndrome? Do you dismiss or deny the current issues facing our country, such as historic inflation, illegal immigration, corporate corruption, World War III escalations, and the chronic disease epidemic? Are you willing to elect someone who was the least popular vice president in modern history, and who offers no policy or vision for America simply because your brain keeps telling you anyone but Trump? If so, you might be struggling from TDS. Introducing independence. Independence allows you the freedom to finally think independently once again. Instead of believing everything you hear from the mainstream media, independence allows for constructive critical thinking.
I used to hear people on the news say things like,
Donald Trump and the movement he has encouraged are a threat to democracy.
and I instantly believed it. With independence, I now realize the media is run by the Democrat elite, who are a corrupt oligarchy that censors free speech, silences political opponents, supports forever wars, and abandons democracy by anointing its candidates.
Independence may not be for everyone. If you enjoy being lied to about your president's cognitive abilities, support Orwellian totalitarianism, or are excited about communist fiscal policy, independence may not be right for you. Common side effects of independence may include an awakening of rational thought, successfully identifying propaganda, freedom of choice, loss of hatred, anti-narcissistic behavior, and love of democracy.
I used to blindly hate whoever my party was running against. I didn't care about facts or policy because I was hopelessly indoctrinated. With independence, I'm much more interested in policies that uphold democracy, and I truly care about the health of our country and its citizens.
Ask your doctor if independence is right for you, and enjoy your freedoms once again.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please go down below, comment, like, and subscribe, and watch another video.